Yeah, yeah. Pack it up, pack it in, let the surge begin. We take your socials up, you know we're built to win. Busy closing deals, running business all day. We handle your socials so you can focus your way. Algorithm shifting, platforms on the move. We track the updates, keep you in the groove. Marketing, tech, and the tools of the trade. Social Surge is live and we're here to get paid. Social media for the Creek crowd. We turn up the signal, we make your brand loud. You run your business, we handle the feed. Social Surge.
Good morning. It is Social Surge. I am Mo Regalado. Over there is my ride or die, my boo. What the heck, Hector Regalado?
Good morning.
Good morning. Waiting for the gram to finally show up. It's very slow. There we are. Okay.
Yes.
My goodness. Good morning, Holly Pennington. Thanks for joining us over on the gram.
Social Surge just got your back on track. Commercial real estate never looked so fly. We bring the knowledge to your digital.
Okay. All right. So today on Social Surge, we are talking about something that is a conversation that you, Hector, and I have quite a bit when we're talking to clients and prospects. What comes first? Website, CRM, lead generation. And I've actually not necessarily turned people away, but I have had prospects where I said, "You're not ready for me yet." They want to be on social media and they want to start getting brand awareness out there, and I appreciate that. I do. Don't get me wrong. But when you have a discovery call with me, we're not just talking about your social media. We're also talking about your entire marketing ecosystem, right? It's everything from your website to your email marketing. What kind of lead generation are you doing? What your follow-up process is. Do you have a follow-up process? Do you have any processes in place at all? So it is
a CRM.
What's a CRM?
Or is it a book with crayons?
Hey, that's a good medium to write in. I like crayons. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely a process that, you know, when we have that conversation, I need to know, because social media obviously isn't just the whole thing, right? It's not just this is, you're going to get on social and you're going to make millions. No, it has to be a part of a process. Social media is part of the marketing ecosystem. Your marketing ecosystem includes your email marketing. It includes your website and messaging. It includes your CRM. It includes your lead generators. So there's all these pieces that go into it, and it's absolutely not just one thing.
No,
so
they all depend on one another in order for the whole system to actually work cohesively and together, right?
Right.
One aspect does not make a marketing plan. One leg. If you got a 3-legged stool and you're missing one leg, that's going to be pretty good to balance, right? I mean, you're still missing one leg of the whole system.
Right. And I think one of the biggest reasons businesses struggle with marketing isn't because they're bad at it necessarily, but it's because they build everything backwards. And we see it all the time. They'll spend thousands of dollars on ads before they actually build their CRM. They have a beautiful website, but there's no lead generator on there. And so today you and I are going to be explaining the order everything should happen.
Okay. So let's dive into it. What would you recommend somebody that is just starting off look at first?
Well, first we have to, again, we talk about marketing being an entire ecosystem, and it's more than social. It's more than advertising. It's more than SEO. It's more than your website. It isn't any one of those things. It's all of them put together. You know, you wouldn't build a house without a foundation, right?
Well, hopefully not.
Well, we've seen some pretty sketchy builders out there. So,
That's true.
and I mean, you're not going to start, you're not going to start with wallpaper. You're I mean, you could, I suppose, if your inspiration comes from the wallpaper, but you got to build that foundation first. And
Yes.
your tech stack, your technology, everything that goes in behind your business is that foundation. So the foundation is, it's your website, it's your CRM, it's your automations, it's your analytics, it's how you're using AI, and everything depends on one another. And
Correct.
when one piece is broken or missing, which you and I have been through this before, where you just told me about, what was the situation we had going on with Make?
So our automation. So two of our automations were basically death looping each other. So one was feeding the other one was feeding back into it, and it was just a death loop, right? And so our credit usage was just going out the window. Luckily, I caught it quick enough and was able to stop it, fix it, and now we're back on track. But yeah, I mean, if something is broken, it's definitely going to affect all your other pieces, right? It's not just that one thing that's damaged or that isn't working right. And oh well, it's no big deal. It is a big deal, especially when you're talking about your marketing and you're trying to gain clients or prospects, right?
Or you're just trying to get market share, right?
Right.
One of the big challenges when it comes to that you and I often see, especially when we're talking about the marketing ecosystem, is that somebody they'll have a good website. There's nothing wrong with their website.
Right.
And then they have an intake or content form, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you ask them, okay, where does this dump into? Like, somebody puts their information in, where does it go to?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know.
that's great. I don't
Yeah.
know. He's doing really well because I don't know is very popular and not just with one person, with everybody that isn't aware. Excuse me, that isn't aware of where those names, though that where that funnel is leading people to, right?
Right. That's my favorite. The I don't know. The I don't know answer. I don't know where that goes. How do you not know? Like, you literally just told me that you've never gotten a lead off of your website, and yet you have a lead generation tool that you didn't realize was an actual lead generation tool. Yes, if you have somebody setting up to subscribe to something, that is a lead generation tool.
Mm-hmm.
Just as simple as that, a pop-up that comes up on your website. But if you don't know where that's going, that's an issue. If you've never talked to your website developer to connect your CRM to your website, or you don't know who's getting the email. Like, I know we've talked to one situation. Their admin assistant had left. The admin assistant was the one that was receiving all of the leads that would come in through their website. And they couldn't get access to her email, the email that she set up to go with that. And they're like, we don't know if we have leads coming in. I'm like, this is an issue. This is a huge issue. And so it was just, okay, let's work backwards. How are we going to make this work? Is it changing the format? It's basically some of the simple things to do, but you can't tell me that you don't have stuff happening on your website if you don't know where the information is going, because you're just doing it blind, right? So
Right.
Hector, you asked me, what is the first, how do we build this foundation? I'm gonna be a little bit radical here, and it's not your CRM, it's not your website, it's not the lead generation tools, it's not the ads. The very first thing that you need to do is you need to have a brand strategy, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this is something that we do talk to our clients about, and we talk about, it's one thing that I love about StoryBrand and being StoryBrand certified is the fact that we walk you through a process to clarify your messaging. If your message isn't clear, a confused buyer will not buy. And so before you build anything, before you even think about website, CRM, social media, ads, whatever, what is your message? How clear is it? Who are you? Who do you serve? And what problems do you solve? And why should they choose you over your competitors? If you can't answer those questions, no amount of marketing is going to fix your issues and challenges. And we see this a lot, particularly on LinkedIn, right? When you go look at somebody's LinkedIn profile and you look at their headline or their bio, and it's, I've talked about this before, my favorite, I'm a rainmaker. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
I turn the hose on and step over. No. Maybe not. I don't
think that's what that means. You have to be so clear that somebody can understand what you do. And sometimes I know we're smart. I know a lot of us have college educations and we've got nice little letters after our names. But if your audience, the core people that you're trying to connect with, can't understand what it is that you do within 7 seconds of coming on your profile, that's an issue. Something as simple as I help owners and investors purchase industrial real estate in Southern California. What does that person do? They work with owners as investors, right? What do they help them do? Buy real estate. Where? Southern California. That's as simple and as plain as you can get. You don't have to worry. Like, I have issues with mission statements, right? Companies will have mission statements, and yet the employees that are doing the bulk of the grunt work don't care about the mission statement. They don't know what it means, and it does not apply to them.
Right, and it comes down to they don't understand it, right? They don't know what exactly that mission statement is supposed to either say or what it's supposed to mean,
right?
And how do they use it on a daily basis? I mean, this is a little sidetrack, but those statements, if you're going to have one for your company, it should be something just like this, something simple to understand, right? Something that everyone, it can roll off the tongue. Doesn't matter what situation they're in. It doesn't matter where, if they're in a conference, if they're in a meeting with a client, or whether they're talking to their 5-year-old and they get asked, Daddy, what do you do? Well, here, let me tell you.
Right. Are you going to give your 5-year-old a long, drawn-out answer as to what you do? And so actually, if we have any brokerage owners listening and tuning in right now or watching the replay, I would challenge you to go throughout your office and ask your brokers, what do we do? What do we do as a company? And then what do you do as an individual broker? And if the answer for the company is not the same across the board, and it's not easy to understand, then your brokers do not, and they do not have a clear understanding of what your business model is.
Right.
And I had conversations. I will talk to owners of brokerages and I say, if I were to go into your office and ask your brokers what it is that you guys do, what would they tell me? Would everybody tell me the same thing? Because everybody should be telling me the same thing. And a lot of times I'll ask this question after I've asked that individual broker who owns the brokerage, right? The owner, I'll ask them, tell me what it is that you do. And they go on this long diatribe, 4 to 5 minutes, telling me everything that they do, and I still don't understand it. And I sit there and I'm like, okay, that's great. What did you just say? I don't like, you lost me. Yeah. You lost me after like the first 15 seconds and you went on for 5 minutes, right? You know, when people ask you and I, what do? We do social media for busy commercial real estate professionals. Who's our audience? Commercial real estate professionals. What are they? They're busy. That's what we're helping them solve. What do they not want to do? They don't want to do their social media, but they know that they need to be on there, right? So we've identified that. It's very simple, very repeatable. Everybody who works for us can say that. They understand it. If I, you know, and getting StoryBrand certified, that was a big thing for me, to be able to go to events and go to conferences and be able to tell people what it is that I do. Now, a lot of times, and I'm not even going to get into that, StoryBrand. If you're interested about my StoryBrand experience, love to talk to you. Just come and DM me, and we can have that conversation. So the thing is that your website, right? Your website shouldn't be figuring out your messaging. Your website should already have the messaging figured out. And that messaging that goes on your website should go on your LinkedIn profile. It should go on your X. It should go on your Instagram. Why? Because you need to have consistency across all the platforms that people can reach you.
Right. It's all part of the branding, right?
Yep.
If you're using a different logo on one piece of marketing than another, you're confusing your buyer. Same thing with your message. If you're using one message on your website versus your socials, that's also confusing buyers.
Yeah. A confused buyer won't buy. So Hector, let's talk about the website, right? So a website isn't just a digital brochure anymore. It's not just a digital business card. No. What should websites be doing? Because you're the one that works on websites with our clients.
So, I mean, when you're building your website, the purpose of your website is you're trying to build trust, right? You're trying to generate leads. You're trying to schedule appointments if that's part of your lead generation. But you're collecting information. You don't want people just to land on your website and then disappear. I mean, that completely negates the purpose of the website. You want to provide something to your avatar that will entice them, that will get them to give you what's extremely valuable. What's that? Their information, their email address. How are you going to contact them back if you don't know either their email or their phone number? So phone numbers nowadays, they're not like they used to be, where, you know, when we had landlines only, and they were very sacred, right? You didn't just give your number out to anybody. Nowadays, your phone number, I mean, you might have a business number, you might have an office number, you might have your personal cell phone. So phone numbers, some clients like to get that information, other clients don't. So, I mean, that's a question that it's a personal question,
right? But
you still need an email. You still need to be able to contact that person back. What is it that you needed? Hey, I saw that you visited our website. Is there something I can help you with? I mean, if you can't even do that, if you're not even able to get that kind of information, your website really is just a business
sitting
card.
there, taking up space. What are some of the common mistakes that you find people make with their websites?
One of the things, this kind of goes back to your point of sounding too smart.
Yes.
If it's too tech or too text heavy, right? If it has too much, people are not going to sit there and read, oh, look at this. Oh, this is fascinating. No, they want their information. They want to know what you do. They want to know how to get in contact with you. They want to know how they can do business with you. They want to see if you're relevant to them. I mean, think about when you go to a website. you're not going there just because the website exists, because there's a lot of websites, and you'd be sitting there for a very long time going through all the websites just to see them. No, you're not there for tourists. You're there to do business. You
Right.
want to know are a shoe company. You go there to check out some shoes. You're wanting to know whether or not those shoes are actually going to benefit you. Are they comfortable? Do they have my size? Do they have my color? If they have to go through your website and click on 20 different links to find that out, you're not going to get the business.
No, you're going to lose them. In fact, you and I, you'll hear me bitch and moan about websites, especially if I can't find contact information. And that is something that we do talk to our clients about, because there should be right there above the fold. It should be an easy, very easy contact us or contact us, right? It's either right above the fold, a button that either schedules an appointment, whatever, or there's a contact us button up on the upper right hand side. There should be 2 points of contact right there. Well, isn't that too much? No, it's like never too much. What you're trying to do is you're trying to make it so easy for them to be able to contact you, to schedule the appointment, to get more information, to get the lead magnet. Do not make it difficult. Like, I don't understand. That's like one of the, now I'm going off on a tangent about this, but there's been several websites that I've been on over the last week where I've gone through searching for the friggin' contact information, going through the menu, going to the bottom. I'm like, where the hell am I supposed to contact you? And in fact, one of them was because we had a charge on our debit card that we didn't recognize. Right. We figured it out eventually, but I went to the website that the charge said was connected to. And of course it looked like a freaking scam, because there was like no contact us information. It was like, what the hell? What is this? If you're going to have a website, make it super stupid simple for people to be able to contact you. Another issue that we see with websites is, they're not optimized for mobile.
Oh, that's huge.
Which is weird, because
so actually more than half of your traffic, and I do mean like 60-70% of your traffic, is going to be on mobile. If your website is not mobile optimized, I mean, I don't know how many websites you've gone to, but where you have to slide it over or you have to try to shrink it, it's like there's only so much it will shrink before you're like, done. I can't see it. You shrink it so much you can't even see the words on it. And I mean, it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating all around, right?
A frustrating user experience. And when I worked for Alien Gear Holsters, it was like the SEO department was there, and then you had social media, and then we're all kind of in the same department. And the UI guys, the UIX guys, would actually have us test the new iterations to the website, because we were the ones that would go in there and break it, basically, and tell them, like, I don't like this, and then explain why we didn't like something, or, hey, this is loading too slow on my phone. Desktop, it loads fine. So we're constantly looking at the user experience. Again, this was obviously a direct to consumer product. So mostly consumers are coming onto your website to purchase something. You don't want to piss them off. Think about the people that are looking for you, that are looking for your business or your service. And if they're having a hard time navigating your website, contacting you, understanding what you're saying, because you're so smart, you put so many words on there, and somebody a long time ago told you, oh, you need all the words on this website for SEO. No, that's not true anymore. So we've actually gone on websites a little bit longer than I intended. Sure. Let's hop over to CRMs, right? I do get asked this question, what's the best CRM? And as Rod Santomassimo has said, as Beth Azor has said, the best CRM to use is the one that you actually use.
No.
Right? There's and it's crazy to me how much people will spend on a CRM and then they don't utilize either all the options, nor do they learn the system or have anybody in their office learn the system. Which is crazy.
Right. So CRMs run the gambit, right? They go from a very basic. So, I mean, even like Constant Contact is considered a CRM, right? It collects information and you can email out. Okay. It is a very basic CRM, but it's still a CRM. And then you go all the way to HubSpot and some of these other ones. Salesforce, right? And there is so many. I mean, you go from a basic Fiat all the way to a Rolls Royce.
Right? Fiat to a Rolls Royce. I like that.
I mean, you go from rolling up your windows to electric windows. So when you buy something that has all the bells and whistles, you should learn what those bells and whistles actually do. They're very beneficial. They're great. They're amazing, but they do absolutely nothing for you if you don't know how to use them. So when we talk to people, when we talk to potential clients, and we ask them about their CRM and they say, I don't know what it does. When, let's say we're talking about email drip campaigns. I don't know if it does that. Well, what kind of CRM do you have? Well, I have Salesforce, or I have HubSpot, or I have Go High Level. Yeah, it does. Those have it, but you don't know how to use it. And so it is a wasted opportunity. It is a huge waste of your of the potential that you have in front of you. It could be making you quite a few contacts if you were to just implement maybe 5%, 10% of that CRM's capabilities. It's just, if you have it and you don't know it, take a weekend and learn it.
Right. Or incentivize somebody in your office to learn it. Because that's the thing. Like, good morning, James Milner. Thanks for joining us over on the Gram. We're talking about the whole marketing ecosystem. What comes first, your website, your CRM, or your lead generation? And so going back to incentivize somebody learning it in your office. Why? Well, if you don't have time to do it, you need somebody that's there that can actually run it properly, right? I'm going to be super transparent here and we use Go High Level. I don't know jack about Go High Level. I don't. It's not something that I just don't care. I don't want to know. But I will tell what I want. Be like, okay, we need to create a lead, we need to create a lead magnet. The lead magnet needs to go here. This is the series of campaigns of emails after it that go. And he says, okay. And he builds it. He builds it out for us. But yep. I don't know anything about it. Does he know a hell of a lot about Go High Level? Yes. Does he know everything that our admin assistant knows about Go High Level? No. Why? Because we've sent her to the training. We've sent her to those classes to go, hey, we need you to be able to understand what it is that this CRM does 100%. And then not explain it to me because we all know that I'm not going to pay attention, but explain it to Hector so that he knows and how it works, right? So if you don't have, you're basically your CRM can do so much for you, right? Like it can have appointment reminders. It can have tasks. Now, a lot of the CRMs have AI in them.
AI is being implemented across the board on especially when it comes to marketing. Simply because the task that marketing does is very repetitive, right? Whether it's an SMS, whether it's an email campaign, whether it's organizing your contacts. I mean, it's just really repetitive stuff. And so AI is being used heavily in these CRMs. Depending on the CRM, some of them are a little further along than others. But regardless, AI is a huge part of a CRM now.
Right. And if you guys have questions about Go High Level, just hit Hector up on LinkedIn and he can answer some of those questions. But if you want a good example of what the hierarchy should look like for like this pipeline that we're talking about when it comes to your CRM, you have a form on your website, right? Something that somebody can fill out, whether they're subscribing to a newsletter, maybe they're downloading a white paper, some sort of lead generation tool. Then that's going to have to, the CRM should be connected. Yes, they need to connect and talk to one another.
They should.
CRM receives the lead. And then there's another step. There's plenty of steps here. There should be an automatic email. That automatic email should be something to the effect of, hey, thanks for downloading. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Hey, blah, 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 right? The next step I don't think that this is necessary. That's just, Hector and I could probably debate this, is you should, send a text message out, right? Like, I don't know. I sign up for coupons all the time. I always want 10% off. So I will sign up for the text message that gives me the coupon code. And then they're texting me every 3 hours saying, hey, we have new shoes or new beauty products or new whatever. I don't necessarily know that that's relevant to.
So the way I like to use SMS isn't to be obnoxious, right? And those can be very obnoxious, and that's also why some people are hesitant to give companies their cell phone number. What I like to do with it is just like that email. Hey, thanks for signing up. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for whatever it is that you provided for them, right? Mm-hmm. And then just a quick SMS, like maybe 15 minutes later, thereabouts, right? Hey, thank you for connecting with us. If there's anything that we could ever do, if our services could be used to help you, please reach out to us. Just a real quick SMS. And the reason for that is because you're on your phone all the time.
That's true.
You're on your phone all the time, right? Do you get the email on your phone? Of course you do. But what do most people do with email alerts on their phone? Whoop, there it goes. But an SMS,
text message, yep.
A text, they will actually stop and look at it and read it and are like, oh, hey, that was really nice. I appreciate it, whatever. But you use the two in combination. You don't just do one or the other and then forget it. And then later on, let's say they scheduled an appointment. That SMS comes back in there and says, hey, this is part of the automation. Hey, by the way, your meeting is coming up in 1 hour.
Right.
Here's the link in case you forgot.
That's where you and I agree on that, because like I love that part of our system where I know that people who have scheduled a discovery call, or maybe we have we have an onboarding call. Right. I know that they're getting those text messages, right?
Yep.
Because I can actually see it in my app and Go High Level that, hey, we've just sent this one out. Good morning, Roger. Thanks for joining us over on the gram. We were talking about what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the website, CRM, or lead generation tool. And right now we're talking about CRMs and what it should look like. So you go from website form, CRM receives the leads, automatic email, automatic text, appointment hopefully scheduled. Then your sales pipeline should automatically get updated. And this is a part of what we were talking about, where you need to know what's happening inside that CRM, because when it gets set up, it needs to be set up properly. And that, I think, is the biggest sticking point, is that people get into these CRMs and like, oh, it has all these bells and whistles. The sales guy was great. They either don't do the follow-up appointment to get everything set up, or their needs change and they don't remember how to get in there and set up how to tag stuff properly. I think that is the biggest issue that you and I have heard from prospects and clients, is when they go into the back end of the CRM, they're like, okay, well, this guy came in as a warm lead, right? It wasn't a cold lead, it was a warm lead. But then he ghosted us and he stopped responding. And now it's a year later and he's come back in, and we don't, it's still showing him as a warm lead, and technically yes, but this person ghosted us. Where does that put him in the pipeline? And so being able to categorize and tag that stuff properly is super important. And then part of your CRM should be assigning tasks to people, right?
Yeah.
What part of this flow, like really, I mean, if you think about it, there should be a flow chart somewhere in your office that shows, this goes here, this goes here, right? And then the last part of this is that the customer is getting nurtured via text message, via email, potentially via phone call, like picking up the phone and saying, hey, saw that you happened to download our white paper discussing the benefits of, soccer in the United States, since we were talking about soccer before we came on. It's just that little connection that you need. And honestly, nobody should be touching anything, because everything is set up properly, that it is this beautiful system that just flows through, right? So we've talked about website, we've talked about CRM. Let's go ahead and talk about content, and we're coming up on time. This is the part where I come in, right? This is the social media marketing aspect of it. There has to be a reason for people to find you. So you're building trust before anybody even talks to you. Your content needs to educate, it needs to entertain, and it needs to be engaging. You're going to answer questions, you're going to solve their problems, you're going to build authorities, and you're not going to worry about impressions, views, or follower count. Okay, let me repeat that. You're not going to worry about impressions, views, or follower count. Why? Right now, because people are using AI, because they're using ChatGPT, they're using Perplexity, they're using Claude, and putting in who is the best ... question mark, right? Who knows about this ? Question mark. So they're asking those questions in AI. And if your content is not indexable, searchable, or discoverable, you are not getting pulled up in those. And people are giving authority, and I want to say that in the right way, they're giving authority to AI. We know brokers who are getting deals because of AI, because AI has recommended them. Why did AI recommend them? Because they have a body of work out on social media, because they are supported through earned media, meaning they've gotten mentions in magazines, they've gotten mentions in publications. They're all over the place. Now, you might look at them and be like, they're everywhere. Like, I could never.
Yeah.
Like, that's so gross. Like, I don't want to do that.
And
okay, then you're not. Then you're not going to get mentioned by AI, right?
And you're not going to get the deals.
Right. Stop leaving money on the table by being a snob about the fact that this person is on LinkedIn and they're on Instagram. And yes, Facebook, Google indexes Facebook. You should have a Facebook business page. I know people ask me, like, should I be on Facebook? Yes. Why wouldn't you be? Just because you don't spend time on the platform doesn't mean that your content isn't being viewed 24/7 by something else, right?
Yeah.
So Facebook is still super viable. However, I will say that if you are a tenant rep, you need to be on Facebook. You need to be in community groups. You need to be on Marketplace.
Right.
All of that needs, or if you don't have the time to do it, your admin assistant needs to be there looking, because people are asking questions. They are using let me go back. Gary Vaynerchuk said this years ago, and by years ago I mean probably 12 or 13 years ago, that every social media platform is a search engine. Every social media platform. LinkedIn is a search engine. TikTok, search engine.
Yes.
Because we're looking for stuff on those platforms. Podcasts is another great place for you to be found.
So looking at that, initially the platforms, when they came up, they were isolated, right? There was no way for one to jump to the other to grab information, to bring it over to here. But with AI, that's no longer the case.
Right.
You have now, Google has always had something with Facebook, right? They had always been able to pull
the reviews.
Yeah, right. But now it's gotten even more. Now they're actually going into Facebook and looking for those recommendations, those posts, those discussions that are happening on Facebook. Same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with YouTube, same thing with Reddit, same thing with all these other platforms. AI is bridging the gap between those platforms. And if you're not looking at this as a whole marketing system, you're missing the boat. Back to your point about, I see them everywhere. Your marketing's working then. If you're being seen everywhere, your marketing is hitting those marks, right? And that's where a lot, some people do get upset. Oh, well, why are they upset? It's because they're jealous. 1, 2, they know that you're getting deals and they're not.
Right. No, that's exactly it. It just boils down to, well, they're everywhere. Well, yeah, of course they're everywhere, because we're continuously making content for them and we want them to be visible and seen. You could too. But again, it takes time and effort, and a lot of times people don't want to put that time and effort in. Let's wrap this up. Let's talk about lead generation. We haven't talked about ads. That is intentional. Lead generation comes after everything else, because now that you have your foundation set, which is exactly who you serve, what problem you solve. It's very easy to understand, right? That is your one-liner. You have the website developed to support the one-liner, and then you have your CRM connected to your website. Now it's lead generation time. So your lead generation, you do webinars, you set up a white paper, you have a podcast, you have a newsletter, any of those things that people can sign up for, that is a lead generation tool, right? But it doesn't just stop there. It has to go through a system. So you should have a drip campaign with every single lead generation tool that you have. So what's a drip campaign? Drip campaign is exactly like it sounds. Boop, boop. Every once in a while, something drops that goes back to the original thing that the person wanted. So say they downloaded a workbook that was to help them or something, right? I don't care what it is. The first email is, hey, thanks for downloading this. This is what you'll find in here. Value, right? You're telling them what they'll find, why they downloaded it, a reminder. Then 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or however often, it depends. You'll have people tell you multiple things about how often you should hit email. Some will say, every other day. Some will say once a week, whatever it is, however you want to do that. But then the next email is like, there's an actual system and a formula to use. Did you see this? Here's the authority piece. Let me know what you think. Boom. And then you have this system where it's continuously touching them, but providing value. It's not just BS emails. Like, and I'm not saying that your property blasts are BS emails, but how often do people actually view the property blasts? Because they don't provide value. It's just literally, oh, thanks. You just told me about this property that I already knew. This is a waste of my time. If someone clicks on your website, they are entering your marketing ecosystem, and they should not be disappearing into a black hole. So AI helps with a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. You need to be discoverable, indexable, and searchable. That means that your website, your content, your metadata, your CRM, all of it needs to be working together. And let's talk about the schema, because this is a big challenge and issue that a lot of websites are having right now, and the FAQs. Do you still need an FAQ on your website, Hector?
Oh, most definitely. AI is pulling from those FAQs. Those are the questions, and you have to look at your FAQs more along the lines of what questions are being brought to me, not just like generic questions about what your business is about, but actual questions that you've heard from your clients, heard from prospects, heard on the street, heard from other brokers, heard from whatever. Go to ask the public.
Answer the public.
Sorry. Answer the public. Put in your industry and see what people are actually asking. Take those and create your FAQs. AI is pulling from those FAQs, and your schema has to support that draw, right?
And there's a lot of websites out there that got away for a very long time without doing that.
They did,
and now you can't get away.
No, but I mean, it goes back to the searchability, right? How are you being found if you don't provide the simple things such as FAQs? And you don't have to have a whole, you're not trying to write a whole book about FAQs. You just want the top 5 most popular questions, right?
Right.
The 6, 10. But I mean, you don't have to have a whole website just for FAQs. You can just have a few questions, but they have to be relevant, and that's the whole thing. Relevance.
Real quick, because we do have to go. We're running long on this. Do websites currently need to have a privacy policy?
Yes. Now, okay. So here's something that a lot of people talk about. No, you don't need a privacy policy. It actually hurts you in your Google ranking if you don't have a privacy policy, terms and conditions. That's just Google's thing. They want to know that you're legitimate, and that there's ways for people to either get more information, right? So it's going to be in your terms and conditions, or they want to know how their information is being used. That's in the privacy section, right? So I mean, Google's trying to help you. Flat out. Google's trying to help you become a better business.
Right.
And the way you become a better business is if you provide certain things so they can rank you. And if you're being ranked well, then you're doing everything that Google wants. And again, it's to help you, not necessarily Google.
Right.
Because Google could care less if you went out of business today or tomorrow.
This is true.
Flat out, right? I mean, how much money are they making? I don't think they really need you.
Right. You are just a very tiny dot. You're minuscule. And so good. I'm glad you brought that. Well, yeah, I wanted you to bring that up, because privacy policy is important. If you don't have one on your website, you need one. And of course, then I'm not going to get into GDPR and all the other ramifications of that, particularly out in California.
They have their own special stuff.
They do. And if you're doing business with anybody out in California, even though you are outside the state of California, you need to have that privacy policy. Yep. There's a whole bunch of stuff on this. All right, everybody, we're coming up to the end of the show. I want you to, if one thing I want you to think about, marketing is not just social media. No. It is not just putting content out on social. It is a whole connected system. All the pieces hopefully are working together. And once you have all those pieces in place, everything gets so much easier. So you should stop asking, should I build a website? Or what CRM should I use? Or should I be posting on social media? What you really need to ask yourself is, what part of my marketing ecosystem is missing? What part of my marketing ecosystem is currently missing? So everyone for joining us today on Social Surge. We will be back on Tuesday. And coming up in this month of July, we're actually going to be talking with our CPA. So I know a little bit different. However, I want him on here. Did you turn off the music? I turned the music on.
You did, and it was cutting your voice out. So would you like me to turn it back on?
No.
Oh,
I was like, what the heck happened? What the heck?
Me?
What the heck happened?
Me? I happened.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Oh, and before we go, have a very happy and safe 4th of July. Keep all the fingers, keep all the toes. Don't blow off your nose. We'll see you guys. Have a great one.
Pack it in, let the surge begin. We take your socials up, you know we're built to win. Busy closing deals, running business all day. We handle your socials. So